This video is about the Wisconsin Southern Railroad's operations in northern Chicagoland. The Wisconsin Southern, also known as WSOR to the local rail fans around the area, operates two daily manifest trains between its headquarters in Janesville, Wisconsin, and the Belt Railway of Chicago at Clearing Yard on the south side of Chicago. They run trains T1 and T4 between these yards, T1 being the northbound run, and T4 being the southbound run. T1 runs earlier with a call time at clearing of 6 o'clock p.m. T4, being the later train, always has a crew call at 8 o'clock p.m. from Belden, Illinois to run the train south into clearing. In this video, you will see how the Wisconsin Southern operates on the Metra portion of its route and the evolution from the SD40s to the now new SD60s. If not, almost all of the clips will be from Morton Grove, Illinois. For this T1, there will be three SD40-2s leading the way, the leader being 4181, a former Burlington Northern unit. The third engine, being 4170, would be the 40th anniversary unit. On this night's T1, the 40th anniversary unit would lead north with 4219 trailing second out. This T1 would have 4187, the Grow Wisconsin unit, leading the way. 4187 is not on the property anymore as of 2025. On this T1, there would be three SD40-2s leading the way, the third one being Helm Leasing 6334. On this night, T1 would have 6334 leading this time, running left-handed northbound towards Janesville. Now moving on to the transition era between the SD40s and the SD60s, this T1 would have 6025 leading. 6025 was the first SD60M to be entered into service on the WSOR. This T1 would have 6022 leading the way northbound to Janesville. We see T1 again at Northbrook with SD60M 6028 leading HLCX 6328 northbound to Janesville. This train is an extra T1, or known as T1X. Tonight it would be led by two yellow SD60Ms. T1X is almost always grain with a call time of 7 o'clock p.m. at Clearing Yard on either Saturday nights or Monday nights. T1X usually runs grain from the industries around Bedford Park, Illinois, and brings them up to Janesville or even as far as Horicon, Wisconsin. The Wisconsin and Southern Railroad began operations in 1980 when the state acquired several Milwaukee Road branch lines and signed a 50-year agreement with the Wisconsin and Southern Railroad organized by the FSC Corporation, which also owned the Upper Meridian and Plymouth Railroad. In August of 1992, the Wisconsin and Southern gained control of the Wisconsin and Calumet Railroad, which had been created in 1985 to replace the Chicago, Madison, and Northern Railroad's operations on the state-owned lines, formerly part of the Milwaukee Road and Illinois Central Gulf Railroad. The Wisconsin and Southern Railroad has trackage rights on Metra from Fox Lake, Illinois to Tower A5 in Hermosa, Chicago. On November 29, 2011, it was announced that the Wisconsin and Southern Railroad would be acquired by Watco with a deal to close on January 1st of 2012. Another T1X races north with two yellow SD60Ms leading the way once again. This night's T1 would have SD60M 6025 leading SD60M 6029 northbound to Janesville. This night's T1 would have 6026 leading the way northbound to Janesville. Arguably, one of the best SD60Ms on the Wisconsin Southern Railroad's roster is 6031 because of it being the only two-window SD60M. Here seen is it leading T1 northbound to Janesville. This T1 would have 6026 and 6029 leading the train northbound by Morton Grove to Janesville. This night's T1 would have 6022, the first repainted SD60M, leading north to Janesville. This night's T1 would have 6023, the second repainted SD60M leading northbound. Here is 6022 leading another T1 northbound. This night's T1 would have 6027 leading the way north. 6027 is the only SD60M with a flag on the side. To end off the video, this would be our last T1. This T1 would have 4173, the last SD40-2 to have positive train control. Positive train control is needed on the Metra portion of their trackage rides.